Thousands of years ago, two advanced civilizations of the universe, in order to gain the right to colonize the Earth. A war broke out, a great war that lasted for hundreds of years, and the Earth's civilization fell into darkness. Fortunately, in the chaos of the battle, the evolved people constantly stood up, creating small sparks of fire in the apocalypse to protect the Earth. Endless war makes both sides tired and weak. The hero sees the opportunity that does not come easily, take control of the Earth. Two advanced civilizations were defeated on one side. The other side was seriously injured and slept soundly until now, the end of the Great War. However, the danger has never disappeared, new chaos is still brewing, the failure of high-level civilization hides its haunting. Ambushing to find the sleeping master, plotting to control the Earth, fleeing to one side, never giving up looking at the Earth. There are also unknown enemies deep in space peeking at the Earth, the risk of survival is extremely tense. But in that situation there is still one person, standing tall in heaven and earth, watching over evil beings. East of Asia, bustling city of Fuangchao. At the Earth Protection Branch, while two men were talking to each other. Then a bright red light appeared on the mechanical system. The entire system was alerted, there were many explosions in the city area, everyone worked hard, but the cause is still unclear. The scene in the heart of the city was extremely chaotic. From the crack of the explosion, a strange hand appeared. After that, a series of monsters with hideous bodies crawled up, they kept screaming and laughing, "The scum of the earth, we are back." They committed mass killings, causing people to panic and constantly call for help, each running away. In the rubble there was a little boy who kept crying, "Mother, I'm scared." The mother was extremely scared but still tried to reassure her child, "Be good, don't cry." Suddenly there was a voice from behind, "Don't be afraid, I will count to help you escape." But when you thought you would be saved, you suddenly met a tall monster standing there and said, "This is the escape, not liberation anymore." The mother was scared, holding my son tightly in my arms. "Someone please come and save us. The Earth Protector is here." The monster laughed even harder when he heard that, even if the screamer broke his throat. Before he could finish speaking, a young man cut off his head. Falling to the ground, the young man patted his chest and looked at the mother and son and said, "Don't be afraid, I'm here. This guy is the protector of the earth. His registered name is Han Kan Bao, belongs to the Super God Association. Based on rank, the ability is mindfulness and motivation." After the boy was saved, he happily pointed at the boy and said loudly, "Mom, it's the brother of the Super God Association who came to save us." The mother immediately looked at him and said, "Thank you." The monsters heard the movement and discovered him here. One spoke up and said, "He is the protector of the earth, kill him." He bravely stood in front of the mother and child and said, "Everyone, please quickly go to the asylum, leave it to me here." After saying that, he immediately rushed into the area where the monsters attacked him. There was another explosion on the high-rise building. Then from there a large object fell to the ground. After the dust flew away, a larger monster appeared. It was a member of the deep sea, the leader of Siamo Ra. The threat level was 5. His hoarse and barbaric voice slowly spoke. Finally there was a real human being. "Come out for me to play." He walked closer to you and raised his fist, hoping you could struggle a little more. As fast as lightning, he immediately jumped close to it, trying to attack, but the leader was unable to dodge. It looked at him and laughed mockingly. "Is this still called a fist?" Then he waved his fist towards his brother. He didn't have time to dodge, so he took the punch and immediately coughed out a mouthful of fresh blood. He laughed heartily. "This is the fist." The power of that fist sent him flying far away. Hit the broken wall, creating a cloud of dust and smoke. He was in pain and kept coughing. It opened its arms and looked down at him lying there, laughing happily. It really disappointed others. The protector of the earth only has this little bit of bravery. As soon as he stopped talking, a space hole appeared right in front of his eyes, and out stepped a handsome man. After looking at the scene around him, he said, "It's starting again. I don't know when this random time travel will end." Seeing the person lying on the ground, he asked, "Where is this place?" The person lying on the ground was confused, thinking, "Who is this person? Has the new guard arrived?" And the monster standing on this side saw the newcomer. His eyes lit up, he smiled crookedly. Fast as lightning it immediately rushed forward, and the boy lying on the ground shouted loudly at the other man, "Be careful behind him." The man was not worried when he was attacked, but just calmly and indifferently, then reached back and hit his fist with a palm. When his fist was close to the spot, he leisurely said 2 words, many words, making the monster bewildered, then immediately sent it flying backwards. When the young man saw that scene, he was bewildered and could not believe his eyes. Perhaps he would never forget that scene for the rest of his life, just for that one person. Causing the monster's hand to explode, with just one gentle move he shattered the S-class monster's left arm. Then the monster with two fierce red eyes asked, "Who are you?" The man just leisurely and indifferently replied, "I am a high official." It hugged its arms, stared at him, then immediately rushed over and screamed loudly, killing people, when the monster was close to the spot but he still stood there leisurely. When it hit him, he only used 2 fingers to block it back and forth, but he didn't even look at it. The crazy monster looked at him, then it jumped and flew away. Whole body transformed, using deep-sea separation power. The mouth keeps growling, "There is a bit of bravery, but let's end it here." After saying that, it immediately slammed its fist into the ground, causing the ground to crumble, along with emitting a shockwave, causing the surrounding buildings to crumble further. Its eyes have now turned into a wild green smile. "Enjoy your last moments." The man heard him say that and was bewildered, thinking to himself, "Do the creatures of this world like to talk nonsense alone like that?" The monster on this side immediately stood on tiptoe, gained momentum, and quickly ran towards the man. He raised his fist and shouted loudly, "I take your life." And the fist all day came closer and closer to the man. The man on this side could only sigh. He waved his hand and then lowered his hand, causing the monster to also collapse. It began to panic. This kind of power, how is this possible? His face was covered in blood. He was just a small human being. How could this be possible? He didn't believe what he saw, and its waves didn't affect him at all. Along with that was the sound of a bloody monster splattering the man. I just indifferently looked at that scene. As for the guy lying on the ground, his eyes were wide open and his mouth was wide open. Could it be that he was dizzy? How could someone have destroyed an S-level monster with one move? In his eyes now there is only the image of that long-haired man. Because of the monster's attack earlier, he was seriously injured, then slowly closed his eyes. The man saw that and sighed deeply, still not answering my question, why did he faint like that? In the sky at this time there was a large bright ball, shining light to the buildings, causing explosions, then dropping a series of monsters from above. On this side, the long-haired girl kept fighting those monsters, her mouth saying loudly, "Boss, the number of enemies is too much, basically they can't fight them all." The Earth Guardian, Al-Aleen level hero, heard her say that and turned to answer, "The reinforcement organization hasn't arrived yet, we have to think of a way to sabotage these transmission gates." Those monsters kept rushing towards the 2 people. The shop owner's face frowned, "Damn, intrusion on such a large scale, why do they even want to be hunters?" In the sky right now a helicopter is flying. The person piloting that helicopter, "I had to risk going out to film with you, now the information has been destroyed, how can you livestream like that?" The guy holding the camera said, "Don't worry Peak, wait until the event ends, we can broadcast the news at the first moment, steal the front page, the large traffic will be ours." He held the camera in the corner and smiled cheerfully, as long as our news was enough to sing. Suddenly his eyebrows frowned, when he saw something. The door was at the transmission door. Why were there 2 people? And those 2 people were the white-haired guy and the other man. Looking at the teleportation door, the man said, "This is probably the source of trouble." After saying that, he raised his hand to recite the formula. His heart was like a thunder god, mixed like one, thundering the magic of photography, serving evil spirits. Then he pointed in the direction of that teleportation door. Immediately, smoke and dust covered it, and the monsters below gasped when they saw that scene. What they saw was a towering golden tower, appearing on it. Then it was quickly placed on the ground, creating an extremely loud noise, causing the monsters to be sent flying. A moment later, the smoke and dust cleared. The newsboy over here happily said, "Big news is absolutely big news." The helicopter pilot shouted, "Don't pull me, calm down a bit," but that young man was already crazy with joy. I couldn't calm down. The image he captured was of the long-haired man leisurely reciting the formula, handsome and elegant. The title was called, "Shocking Lonely Hero, Single-Handedly Rescuing the City of Fuang Chao. I dare to confirm, page the beginning of this 1-month future will all be ours." The brilliant tower still stands there. A person emerged from the rubble and wondered, "Is it all over?" Then one person pointed in the direction of the man. "Everyone look, he must have saved us, thank you hero." The man on this side has an expressionless face and is speechless. Looking down at everyone, the long-haired girl said to the manager, "Do you know the person up there?" Because the manager also looked in the direction the man spoke. "Not familiar, but he is so strong. Maybe he is which house's S-class hero belongs to, right?" The newsboy then stuck his head out and said, "Come a little closer, I want to interview him. Hurry up, this is exclusive news." The helicopter flew quickly to the man's place. "Hello sir, I am the hunter reporter for today's news. Just now I was a hero who saved an entire European city with my own strength. I can conveniently reveal it. Are you a hero of any house or not?" The young man's face happily continued to ask, "Is it the Magic Academy of Super Theology Association, or the Island of 10,000 Beasts?" The man was silent because he didn't know what to say. After that, he immediately disappeared, and the reporter on this side was sprayed with glue and became stiff. The manager turned to look at the girl. After the information was recovered, Mila immediately reported to headquarters, confirming his identity. The girl immediately replied, "Got it." 1 hour after the raid ended, in the lobby of the office of the Earth Protection Branch of Fuing Chao City, on the screen was the image of that long-haired man. Everyone in the room was extremely surprised, busy, working on the report of the hunter reporter from the front line today. The mermaid riot occurred in Fuing Chao City. Today, with the help of a mysterious hero, it was declared over. Currently I still can't find out what this mysterious hero's name is, what force he belongs to, but based on his ability to solve events, the hero is at least S-level in strength. The manager read this news, then ponder. The pink-haired girl walked up to him and said, "The event manager has already reported it to above, but the headquarters has not responded yet. It seems that the headquarters also does not know the background of this hero." Her words made him frown. "That is to say that he is not one of us. Is it just a coincidence that he appears here, or are you saying?" Before he could finish speaking, a blonde girl with a hot body walked over. At least it looked like he and the mermaid weren't on the same side. As soon as the words were uttered, the two people on this side immediately turned to look at her. She waved her hair, "Just returned from the scene. Sorry I'm late." This blonde girl is the vice president of the Super Gods Association, Level 5 Heroes, Diana Menstruation Association. Diana continued, "This time the mermaids invaded on a large scale, just in name. The real goal was to search for a large area of the Tomb Master, where the flag was wiped away," and the master replied, hearing that. "If that were the case, there would definitely be a leader commanding the scene, but we never discovered it. That guy is dead." After hearing that, everyone was shocked. "What?" The deputy manager continued, "I found his son, and the DNA test results pointed to the leader of the deep-sea mermaids." She continued with a gloomy face, "According to the survivor nearby, this man had reduced the Fish King's leader's appearance to shreds in one blow. The strength of his headquarters was probably beyond S level. The important thing is that we currently do not know his background and intentions clearly." Everyone looked at the man's image and fell into deep contemplation. The deputy manager began to speak again. "Starting from now, investigate the news related to this person, quickly confirm his stance and details. Before investigating clearly, block all news related to this person." The two people opposite immediately said in unison, "Yes." After giving orders to her subordinates, she thought to herself, "One strike would defeat the leader of the mermaids. He possesses such power. In the end, is he an enemy or a friend?" At this time, the sky is blue, white clouds and golden sunshine, on the outskirts of Dongtian's small world city of Fuing Chao. The man was sitting and cultivating when he sneezed. He sighed. It seemed like he was infected with troublesome cause and effect again. At this moment, a goldfish jumped out from the water. That movement made the man turn to look, then immediately dropped the fish into the water. Standing up and looking at the lake's surface, he thought, "Just leave it alone if it's already infected, then it's okay to follow nature." The white-haired boy he saved was also awake. He opened his eyes and looked around in bewilderment, wondering where he was. Then suddenly a giant figure stepped forward. Because the boy had woken up, the movement made him startled and turned around to look. It was a lion with a horned head and bloodshot eyes pointing its claws at him. As soon as he woke up, he immediately encountered a monster. He was so scared that his eyes filled with tears and he shouted loudly, "Monster!" The man then picked up the huge lion from earlier, which had turned into a kitten, and said, "I'm sorry I scared you. It likes to tease others, it's not malicious." Kitten crossed his arms and frowned. "Oh how selfish." He even called him a monster. "Your big friend is a demon of 10,000 years, not a monster, understand?" The white-haired young man had not yet regained his composure and could only nod. The little cat was picked up by the man. The man said, "You're too surprised, and nothing happened to this kid, you can't even scare him to death." On the other side, a person and a cat were constantly arguing. The white-haired boy looked at the man and thought to himself, he is the same person, and with one strike he destroyed the leader of the fish people. After saying that, the boy stepped forward, thanking you for saving me. How should I address you? The man still carrying the cat replied, you can just call me Tianj Quan Van. Putting the cat on his shoulder, he said gently, your wound has completely recovered, go back quickly, don't let your loved ones worry. The young man heard that and whispered, that, Mr. Shangwen. Then he immediately bowed his head and bowed loudly, although it was very sudden, I beg you, can you accept me as your disciple? The noble man looks down from above, why do you want to worship me as your master? The young man firmly replied, because I need strength, I want to become stronger, become the strongest hero. Hearing that, one person and one cat didn't know how to answer, then turned away, leaving behind their words, go back, I won't accept you. The young man was bewildered when he heard that and asked, why? The man turned around, glanced at him, then sighed and said, I don't accept that there is any power that belongs to me, this is the rule. Then he leisurely walked away, it's because you were injured here, if I hadn't taken action, you would have died by now. The white-haired boy frowned when he heard that. What? Then he knelt down on the ground, so that was it, his mood was extremely depressed at this time. I just want to become stronger and protect more people, in the end, I can't even protect myself. The man heard that and turned to look at him but said nothing. The cat also turned to look at the young man. The man remembered the words of his brother when he was growing up, the High Mandarin, I want to be stronger, I want to become a hero. The High Mandarin asked, why so suddenly? The other man replied, don't you think it's cool to be a hero, relying on your own strength to rescue this injured person? Until the two of them grew up, the elder brother still put his arm around the Mandarin's shoulder and said, High Mandarin, did you hear that? Those people called us high fairies and heroes. The High Man frowned, he heard that, you've repeated it many times, but the scene that follows is extremely sad. How is Tui Q, the Mandarin? The other person immediately replied, he has retreated, the young man's face is full of wounds, blood is pouring out, is that so? I'm sorry, I messed up, don't say anything. Thus, the person who perseveres to the end, no one can say anything. But I can't protect anything, in the end I'm still too weak, remembering old memories makes the official sigh. He turned back to look at the young man kneeling on the ground. Let it go, since I saved you, I can't watch you give your life again, I will teach you a trick, if you can grasp it, I will. He made an exception and accepted you as his disciple. The young man was surprised to hear that, is it true? Tianj Quan replied leisurely, absolutely not lying. After saying that, he raised his hand to say the technique, you should look at this move is called, Nine Duang Lu Vu Tranquet. He continued to explain that heaven and earth are divided into two yin and yang, the yang is hot, the yin is cold. Kuduang is the positive pole and is also a gas, both hot and intense. Having said that, he immediately used that ability to show the young man. Take yang as the starting point to destroy, use yin to shape, control balance, unify yang. The number 9 Yang Lu Yu, immediately a palm was formed from the two fingers of the upper official, then shot forward. The force of that attack hit a nearby rock, causing the rock to crumble and scatter. After that, dust surrounded the two people. The boy stared, what? Because he really couldn't believe his eyes anymore. With just one strike, he could split the whole mountain in two. The Mandarin leisurely said, do you remember everything? The young man was still bewildered. Before I could figure it out, the official turned around and left. After you've learned your lesson, come over here. You didn't have time to hold on or ask anything else, you just had time to reach out and play with him, please wait. Then he disappeared from the place where he lived, and returned to the real world. He didn't even have time to say a word for the magistrate to hear. Right now he was standing in the middle of a crowd, looking around in bewilderment, wondering, am I back? But you still haven't told me how to feel these two yin and yang energies. The little cat on the official's shoulder asked, why do you have the idea of accepting him as a disciple? Aren't you afraid of being involved in karma? The official replied indifferently, he reminds me of an old friend. The little cat heard that and became silent, staring at him. Can people in this world understand your immortal magic? The high official walked leisurely and said leisurely, let's just look at fate. At the secret base. Suddenly the system showed a warning, a huge unknown energy was detected. Abnormal ceiling index warning, unusual ceiling index warning, doctor, the third doctor is the person in charge of researching secret base X, he frowned. It's not okay, then immediately speak loudly to everyone around, report to the superiors, an unknown power has provoked the X seal. The subordinates immediately shouted, yes doctor. He frowned and looked at the warning. The fisherman was violent and had unusual energy. Could it be that this time the world's disaster was about to begin? A huge warning appeared on the screen. A few days after the attack, the blonde deputy manager on the big screen said, "Please rest assured, the attack has been completely resolved, and to ensure the city's construction work, Fuingchao City advances in order, protecting the earth, increasing the number of people, increasing the defense power of the city. I will also temporarily station troops in this place." The Mandarin was also joining the stream of people listening to the announcement. One person spoke up and asked, "What did the deputy manager and Earth Protector think about the rumor of the mysterious hero rescuing the European city?" On the internet, the official was in the crowd at this time, but because he used a cloaking technique, people could not see him. After receiving the question, the deputy manager laughed loudly. "The rumors on the internet cannot be considered true. There have been too many people wanting to be famous in recent years. It's not strange for those unbelievable rumors to appear. Please everyone, please trust the Earth Protection Team. At least we really act to protect many people." The other person said thoughtfully, "That's right, thank you for your excellent speech. Thank you for telling me. Protect the Earth." The deputy administrator politely replied, "This is what we should do." After hearing the discussion on the big screen, passers-by were talking to each other. "I remember a few days ago, I even watched the video, but it was quickly taken down. Maybe the news was blocked." Then no, isn't what the official website said is just a rumor. If this really happened, the Earth Protector would definitely spread the word. After all, humanity has another hero. That's right. The little cat was licking his hands and feet and said to the official, "It looks like you're frozen." The official glanced at it. "That's good, it saves a lot of trouble." Suddenly the Mandarin discovered something, then he immediately disappeared in the crowd. Next appeared in a pile of ruins. The deputy manager leaned against the pillar and said indifferently, "You guys came very quickly." The official looked at her and replied, "Your inquiry was not hidden at all, wasn't it, just to lure me here?" The deputy manager immediately stared at him. "Yes, then I will tell you straight away. Who are you, and what power do you belong to?" Her eyes cautiously looked at the superior officer. The purpose appeared in what is Fuingchao City. When the minister heard this, his face looked bored, thinking in his head, he really didn't know how to answer this question. When the deputy manager didn't let him answer until the end and raised his sword, he said it was okay if he didn't answer, then he was guilty. After saying that, she threw her sword towards the official. The official and the little cat on this side had crows flying all over their heads. Again, the creatures of this world are truly warlike. After saying that, he let the little cat jump away, then directly faced the sword tip that the deputy manager hit. He gently raised two fingers, grabbed the tip of the sword and immediately struck back. The deputy manager saw that and was surprised. What? She couldn't believe her eyes, because with just two fingers, the official was able to control the tip of her sword. In her heart, she thought to herself, it was so easy to stop under her sword skill. She immediately jumped up and landed on the ground a few dozen meters away from the official. The high official glanced over, wondering if he still wanted to fight. The deputy manager raised his hand. "One move of yours and another of mine. How about, if I win, please answer my question honestly. If you win, my body will withdraw from here." The high official closed his eyes and sighed in acceptance. "So be it." The deputy manager on this side was full of enthusiasm, raised his sword horizontally, creating a beam of bright power. "So you guys just have to be careful," he said and slashed towards the upper official. The mouth shouted loudly, destroying the purple light. A huge red color of power rushed towards the upper official. When he was close to him, he didn't dodge but just stood there leisurely. Raised two fingers and created a stream of blue power. Oppositely blocked that red stream of power. With just one gentle flick of the hand, it split the red stream of power into two, forming a Y shape. When the deputy manager witnessed this, he was bewildered. "What are you doing?" The high official replied calmly, "It was just cut in half, that's all." The deputy manager frowned helplessly. How could he cut it? This was truly an attack on someone else. She looked towards him. "According to my promise, I will stop here, but if you come here with unknown intentions, our security organization will pay attention to you. In the future, perhaps there will be others who will come to bother you." The minister's face was short at this time, so wasn't that because he refused to stop? "Tianj Quan Van is my name," she said, "just a practitioner, not your enemy," the deputy manager said loudly. So that day was. He continued to step forward and said softly, "Just by chance, that evil thing didn't know how to retreat and solve it conveniently." After saying that, the superior officer disappeared from the position in the heart of the Y letter. The deputy manager then touched the headset and said to the person on the other end of the line, "Did you hear it or not?" The other person heard and replied, yes. As far as she could see his strength, the deputy manager fell into deep thought and said, deeply and unpredictably. Right now at the Dark Alliance base, at the top is a tall monster, at the bottom are two people covered. One person on the left said, sir, the fisherman army commanded by Kimura, the leader has been completely destroyed by one person, look at this. The monster above said, expelling the poisonous fisherman from the alliance, where we don't need waste. Both subordinates below said in unison, got it. The monster at this time was tall and rough with bloodshot eyes. He continued, and returned to Fuing Chao City. A few days ago, I felt the fluctuations in the master's ability, and the direction was the same as there. Plus, such a powerful person is hiding here. The answer is already very clear. Arrange more people to go into the city of Fuing Chao. You must find the specific location of the master's seal and dig it out for me. They both immediately put their hands on their chests and said in unison, yes. The head monster continued, as for that new hero, I will personally deal with him. At this time, outside the active city of Fuing Chao City, people were walking around bustlingly. The Mandarin was also curious enough to enter the store and touch the technology items. The employee next to him was constantly marketing, sir, the iPad in your hand is our newest model, large capacity, blank, with the most advanced AI chip. The operating speed and data processing speed have both reached the highest level. The official picked up the iPad and touched it. The employee continued to say, our camera products are also military-grade products, not only HD, but also the visibility is extremely far. Even rocks on the moon can be seen clearly. The official heard this and stopped to ask, being able to see the moon clearly is very rare. Why does the employee laugh when he receives a difficult question? Haha, you're joking. Of course professional equipment is obvious, but an iPad that can do that is absolutely the only one in our house. I dare to guarantee this point. The official continued, if you want to see clearly, wouldn't it be better if you got a little closer? After saying that, he immediately took the employee to the moon. The employee then frowned bewilderedly and said in panic, am I dizzy? Is it the moon here? The official looked at him without answering. After saying that, he immediately took the employee back to the store. The employee was extremely panicked. Am I back again? The upper official replied leisurely, just now he just stood still, didn't go anywhere, it was just the effect of the fairy dong magic, that's all. The employee trembled, what is the heavenly dong magic? What is it? So, perhaps I have encountered some noble person. While still thinking, the official placed a solid piece of gold on the table and said, this is for you, I remember it can be used as money. The clerk's eyes lit up, it's gold. Then he bowed low to the Mandarin, happily saying thank you to the guests, welcome to come again next time. The cat on the Mandarin's shoulder said, looking at his excited appearance, you probably gave him too much, right? The Mandarin didn't care at all and replied, it's okay, money is just an external thing to me, close. He said as he explored the iPad, but why did you decide to buy this thing? Aren't you curious? You don't practice immortal magic or spiritual energy, but you can control magical devices. After all, the question is why? Standing upstairs looking into the distance he continued, compared to this, I'm even more curious about the other side. On the other side, what they said was the white-haired young man arguing with a girl. The girl said, stop practicing martial arts, that's just a trick to others, just a waste of your time, just you. But the young man firmly replied, it's not a trick, I've seen him use that trick with my own eyes. How can you not believe it? The girl still believes in her thoughts more. She frowns. It's magic. It's a great demon of 10,000 years. This is not a novel. You tell me how to believe this. Please calm down. The organization just cancelled some investigations about you. You should still try hard for the next promotion exam. Then her tone became sharper. If you don't advance this time, there won't be another chance in the future. Do you understand or not? The young man's face was short. It's not like I was still thinking how long ago, he said and turned away. The girl following her said, I said to you. Suddenly, a stream of power fell from the sky, passed through the glass and crashed into the ground, causing everyone to fly out. And what landed on the ground was a monster with 2 whiskers on its head, with a rough appearance. It was a standard level 5 swan monster. Looking at the people around him, he smiled, ah snacks, long time no see. Both the white-haired boy and the girl turned to look at it in panic. Everyone around was scared, running around screaming for help, everyone fighting for their lives. Get out of the way, I don't want to die. And the monster, seeing that the victim was scared, laughed cheerfully and added, let's run quickly. Isn't hunting like that interesting? After saying that, he raised his hand to fight back and forth. Using the swan ring, no matter how fast anyone is, they cannot match its power. His whole body was cut into pieces. A young man here was chased close by its claws. But immediately the girl from before came to his rescue, then she glanced back at him and said, "Quickly leave this place, quickly." That person immediately ran away, not forgetting to thank him. The boy on this side pointed straight at the monster and said, "Hey, the monster over there, stop for me." The monster glanced at him. "Oh, protector of the earth, I'm still looking for you guys." After saying that, it used its legs to fly up high, spreading its huge wings. "I want to kill all of you." Then using the power of the storm ring, the boy on this side tried his best to fight. But the monster is so strong that it's basically impossible to get close. And the monster over there is laughing louder and louder. "Kid, don't you think I will attack you guys?" The girl spoke up and reminded him, "Hey, let's get away for a bit, we can't do anything to him at this distance." The boy slowly said, "No, there's still one more trick, it's the 9 Duang Lu Vu Chan Quet. Brother, don't be afraid but slowly step out." The girl was worried, now is not the time to joke about that scammer's tricks. But he was resolute, concentrated his wisdom, and placed a halo of fire on his forehead with absolute belief that his master was not a fraud. He then raised his hand and said, feeling the two energies of yin and yang, he stood alone in the middle to fend off the monster's attacks. The official in the distance also witnessed everything. The little cat standing on his shoulder praised him. "This brat, talent isn't bad either." The boy over here was gritting his teeth, sweat pouring down. He said, "Use the yang as a weapon, use the yin to shape the shape," secretly cheering for himself in his heart. "Try your best to cool the leopard, absolutely must control the energy source," was created. But unfortunately, his energy could not be controlled. It immediately exploded, causing him to fly away. The girl ran over and called out worriedly. Han picked up the newspaper. At this moment he had slipped a long way. His whole body was covered in wounds. The girl shook him. "Hey, are you okay?" The monster saw him suffer like that and laughed even harder. "Is this your secret technique, used to commit suicide?" The official heard the monster whispering so triumphantly, "It seems like I need to let you see the original." Then he appeared, waiting for Han to hold the newspaper and the girl. Han held the newspaper and called out, "Master." The monster still doesn't realize the danger in front of him. It's still arrogant. "Huh, there's another guy coming. If you want to die so much, then I will fulfill it for you." After saying that, it soared high, using heavenly rings. Tianj Quan reached out his hand, slowly feeling the yin and yang. His whole body was surrounded by an amount of power. So, the monster's blows didn't even touch a hair on his head. The monster is still complacent at this point. "Is this suicidal game again? Even if you block my attack now, so what? My rampage is not just like that." Having said that, it continues to advance, to the governor's place. The superior officer was not confused but slowly recited the formula. The number was positive. A stream of power glowed in the palm of his hand. His eyes flashed fire and said 9 Duang Lu Vu. Then a beam of light flew towards the monster. The speed was lightning fast. The monster was startled. What was that? It only had time to utter a few words, then it was hit by the official's attack. The destructive power of that attack was extremely great, causing Han holding the newspaper and the girl next to him to raise his hands to protect himself. The blow from earlier created a long trail and a large hole in the ground, creating a cloud of smoke and dust. The girl next to Han is holding a newspaper with eyes like an A and mouth an O. She's really amazing. As for Han holding the newspaper, he had a very proud look on his face. He glanced at the girl next to him. "How is it? I didn't lie to you, right?" The girl smiled happily. "Definitely." Her eyes sparkled. "I also wanted to worship him as my master." The official then slowly opened his mouth and said, "You are too hasty," he explained. "Controlling the two yin and yang energy is not that simple. The energy is not happy. Forcing the structure technique is only possible. Only harm yourself. You should get familiar with the way Qi works first and then think about it." Han held the newspaper and immediately agreed, "Yes." As for the girl who kept saying that the superior officer was a fraud, now she bowed down. "Teacher, I have defamed you. I'm sorry." The superior officer answered without thinking, "You are a success," urgently. "It's okay, those who don't know are not guilty." Her face was pink and she whispered, I also want to worship and become a monk. Is that possible or not?" The high official looked down, thoughtfully let out a sentence, "To consider it later." Hearing the answer, the girl was depressed. "Yes, sorry for causing more trouble for you." Tianj Quan continued, "That's right, do you know any job that can quickly make a lot of money?" Han Kambao explained, "With the power of the master, of course you can join the left guard team." After hearing the answer, the official was so bored that he didn't bother to speak, so he left, as if I hadn't asked anything. When the two people opposite heard that answer, they were a bit surprised. The high official didn't bother to explain. I felt very lucky that you guys didn't come to bother me. At the high-rise conference to protect the Earth, at this time on the screen, the generals appeared. The person standing in the center said, "Summoning you here is just to discuss an issue. This problem is related to that mysterious hero. What do you think?" The person who spoke is the general in charge of the Super God Association, a level 5 hero, a genius named Lex, the Academy's principal, magic. Level 5 hero, God Spear Ganda closed his eyes and slowly said, although he didn't want to admit it, that person's powers, I'm afraid they are above us, but fortunately there was no malice, and it was very reasonable. Perhaps, if we can create a good relationship, it will be beneficial to us, not harmful. His eyes slowly opened. Quite the opposite. The Dark Alliance is the biggest threat now. We still shouldn't worry about losing one or the other, it's better. The Pope of the Mechanical Religion, the level 5 hero of the Divine Emperor spoke up. That's right, the scale of this ride is different from the previous ones. There is a reason, suspecting that the Dark Alliance already knows about X, and wants to stop it. Preventing their next move is important. The Island Master of the Island of 10,000 Beasts, a level 5 Wild Wolf hero, also spoke. I agree with your thoughts, but regarding that mysterious hero, we should still pay attention and be on guard. The person standing in the center said with a serious face, it seems that everyone has the same opinion. Then next we will use all our strength to deal with the Dark Alliance. On the upper echelons, Goanna will arrange ancient haunting magic to observe him. If you have no other opinions, then this conference will end, and the images on the screen of the heroes immediately disappeared. The person standing in the center then let out a breath. The person next to him who had been silent until now finally spoke up. His strength far exceeded ours. That woman was too cowardly. If it were me, she would definitely capture that high-ranking officer. When the other person hears that, they frown. Don't look down on anyone, especially that guy who comes from nowhere. Right now we still don't know anything about him. We can act as we please. The only loser is us. Stop. The other person is still extremely pleased. Then you better hurry up. My patience is limited. This complacent person is the protector of the Earth, the Super Gods Association. You are level 5 hero. Platinum superhero in the citadel of a western city. Ruins and ruins everywhere. Han picked up the newspaper and said, I've already contacted headquarters. The disaster recovery staff is still on the way. The girl next to me continued to say, so, here is no longer our business. Han held the newspaper and looked at the official. Master, do you have any plans next? The official replied leisurely, just walking around. I'm not familiar with this place. There are many things to learn. When the girl heard that, her eyes sparkled and volunteered, then let me guide you. How about it? I know this place very well. When Han Kambao heard that, he reminded him, hey, the intention is so clear, and no. The official heard that it was very reasonable, so he replied, okay, having someone introduce it would probably be a lot more convenient. After being agreed, the girl jumped up and down. It was so good. Han holding the newspaper was jealous. The master and disciple also wanted to go, but that scene was observed from afar by someone. The observer was also an Earth Protector, a Super God Association, a level hero, a shadow magician. He thought in his heart, too fast, an S-level was killed by a cat. No wonder Diana had to be careful. Kidney. A few days ago in Diana's office, there was a painting of Tianj Quan Van on it. She said, I want you to monitor this man, observe at close range, keep track of all his directions, is to be. The boy looked at the photo in surprise. This person was the one who appeared on the day of the mermaid riot. The girl answered, yes, when you supervise, you must be careful. If any problem occurs, immediately retreat. Absolutely no conflict with him. The boy asked again, be careful, so careful, is it necessary or not? When she heard that, she glanced at him and saw that he could cut off my purple leaf and not be harmed at all. The boy then whispered and trembled after witnessing the scene just now. This job is not easy to do at all. The pink-haired girl was excited. Let me take a look. Okay, let's go to the Earth Protection Department first, okay. Tianj Quan Van looked unhappy and said, why? She replied, Earth Protection is also considered the largest organization on this Earth. With the science and technology of treatment, there are shadows of Earth Protection everywhere. It is impossible to escape, Han Kambao continued. Moreover, getting to know each other can also avoid some unnecessary conflicts. Hearing this, Tianj Quan Van's beautiful eyebrows wrinkled, thinking. And the person assigned to observe this side is slowly approaching closer, because it's too far away to hear anything clearly. When he got close, he heard Tianj Quan Van's words, which startled him. Tianj Quan Van said, "Okay, then listen to you guys. First go to the Earth Protection Department." He hid behind the wall, but tremble. "Are you going to the Earth Protection Department? This guy probably wants to attack us, right?" After saying that, he raised his hand to contact Diana. Sweat poured out like rain. He thought, although I definitely won't fight him, but before she comes here, I have to let him hold back. Then, as quickly as lightning, he immediately chased after and approached Tianj Quan Van. As soon as he got closer, Han Cam Bao discovered that he was a level A hero. He uses his power, his whole body is covered with a mysterious color, his mouth chants spells, his shadow magic is in the dark sky. Immediately a black aura surrounded the three people. The three of them didn't understand what was going on, they were covered by a black bag. Han Cam Bao wondered, hasn't the monster been solved already? What is he doing? There was a voice echoing back, of course it was to stop you guys. Han held the newspaper in bewilderment. Huh, what? He appeared and said, as a member of the Earth Protection Team, he has fallen into such depravity and caused trouble to the headquarters. Today, I, the Haunting Magician, will absolutely not let you achieve your wishes. In the Earth Protection Department, in the combat training room, Anna was practicing hard, one punch and then another kick. After a while, she stopped, her whole body was sweating and she was breathing heavily. Suddenly received a notification, emergency notification, received a help signal from the bamboo hero. Urgent announcement. Diana immediately ran over when she heard that. Was she discovered? Absolutely don't cause any conflict. The other side said, I will absolutely not let you place what you want, the Haunting Magician. Han took the newspaper and stepped forward to explain, please wait a moment, is there some misunderstanding inside? We just want to take people for a tour. That person did not listen to the explanation and shouted angrily, shut up, you two traitors. He looked at Tianj Quan Van and said, such a dangerous man, if he wants to cause harm to the Earth's protection, the consequences are hard to predict. As a hero, I will absolutely not let the consequences happen. This disaster happened. Han Cam Bao was angry, you are completely guessing, even if you are a level A hero, you can't make things up like that, right? You were about to step up, when the official van stopped Han holding the newspaper, there's no need to say much. Seeing that action, the hero immediately ruffled his feathers and said loudly, revealing his foxtail, right, I know you want to attack, if that's the case, then I'll make sure to strike first. After saying that, he jumped up towards the three people. Tianj Quan Van frowned, is it happening again? Han Cam Bao wondered, it's gone. As soon as they finished speaking, diagonal streaks of light struck around them. I advise you that it's better to give up, in this darkness, no one can defeat me. Tianj Quan Van was angry, his bloodshot eyes stood right behind the hero and slowly said, huh, is that so? When that person heard it, he was immediately startled, what is it, Mr. Superior and his subordinates are merciful. As soon as he finished speaking, he was beaten into a cloud of dust and smoke. Han holding the newspaper trembled and glared, what is this? The beaten young man grew a guava on his head until his eyes were swollen. Diana also ran up and shouted, Mr. Tianj Quan. The thick veil of darkness also gradually dissipated. She ran over, breathing and saying, luckily she arrived on time. The boy saw her and called out, Miss Diana. Tianj Quan Van glanced at him, Miss Diana, you probably haven't forgotten our promise, right? Diana smiled, of course she didn't forget, her whole body emitted a murderous aura as she looked at the person sitting on the ground and said, there must be some misunderstanding here, are you right? The boy was beaten, even if you're in pain, you have to be patient. She said angrily, go back and I will deal with you later, the other person can do nothing but agree. Tianj Quan Van frowned, if that's the case then let it go this time. Diana smiled, that's right, I heard that Mr. Sheng wants to visit and protect the Earth, so how about I come as your tour guide, perhaps some secret devices can be opened, let me show you, just consider it as compensation for the day. Tianj Quan Van was not interested, I criticized him very much, and the two young people on this side shouted loudly, really, that's great. Diana saw that someone was excited and asked again, Mr. Tianj Quan, think carefully. The official finally sighed again, okay, then I'll bother you. Hearing the desired answer, she showed a professional smile, pleased to serve. Suddenly the system issued a warning, codename S3142 escaped control, still walking towards the tragic area, inviting heroes nearby, immediately go to suppress, warn. In the tragic area of Fuingchao City, the scene here is extremely hot. The cars and buildings were on fire due to the attack. Those attacks had not stopped but continued to shoot. The police and the little girl were hiding nearby. The monster outside laughed loudly. Go die, go die. He is a scientific monster. The threat is A+. Suddenly there were shadows of two people rushing in and shouting loudly. The monster stopped being so wild. That attack caused the monster to retreat sharply. And those who attacked were the Super God Association, Great Heroes, champion baseball players, and Great Heroes. The gentleman's sword. The gentleman's sword said, "Leave it to us, here go. Please quickly escort that girl away from the accident." After that time, the champion baseball player immediately threw the baseballs up, used the baseball to hit those balls towards the monster. He used the slogan, "All party support." The monster didn't have time to react when the baseballs were approaching him. One in the cheek, then one in the leg, one in the hand. The gentleman's sword then took the opportunity, used the 6 sword drawing techniques, and rushed behind it, slashing back and forth, causing the monster to scream miserably. Then he added 2 more words, "Let's throw flowers." Humph, science is just that, but you don't know that. Behind you, the monster's eyes are opening. It responds to you. Oh, is that so? When he heard the monster's voice, the gentleman's sword was startled and he turned around. What? But immediately, he grabbed its head with its huge hand. He raised it up high and tried to struggle. That hand squeezed his face tighter and tighter. He looked at it in shock. How could that be possible? I obviously cut you guys. The monster opened his mouth to answer. The dangerous place. That thing does not exist. Thanks to someone's blessing, this man has been reincarnated. The proof is that the wounds he was slashed earlier healed quickly. The baseball player then shouted loudly, releasing him from that monster. When the monster heard that, he looked away. Young man, don't be impatient, next is you. No one should run away. As soon as it said that, its arm was cut off. And the one who cut it off was Diana, who suddenly appeared. Then she kicked the monster flying and stuck to the wall. The gentleman asked, "Sir, you are Miss Diana." The monster was still alive. He put his hand on the wall and said loudly, "Long time no see, Diana." Staring at her, he continued, "I got out of prison because I wanted to see you. Anyway, it was you who locked me in the federal government's underground prison." Diana looked at him. "Now that you've been seen, you should go back to jail." The angry monster rushed towards her. "Let's see if you have the courage." As fast as lightning, it jumped towards her and rushed towards her. Quick as lightning, Diana also jumped up, dodging that attack. Looking at it, she thought to herself, "This guy is stronger than before, we have to fight and win quickly." After saying that, she immediately rushed towards him and hit his other arm, causing the monster to step back, then continue to draw his sword and slash each attack. The monster was immediately beaten by those attacks, leaving his body covered in wounds. The minister and the 2 people on the side both witnessed all that scene. The girl exclaimed, Diana is too strong." The superior officer was the one who saw clearly the problem. That monster had not yet used all his strength. Although its blood flows like a river, its eyes still shine brightly, and it even smirks. "That's all, Diana." Then the severed arm moved and a new arm grew. Diana couldn't believe her eyes when she saw that. The monster moved and screamed loudly, "The current me could crush you very easily," because at this time it had become huge. Its whole body had tentacles and an eye on its chest. As soon as he finished speaking, a trigram appeared under his feet. Diana outside didn't understand what it was. So it turned out that the high-ranking Mandarin did it. He opened his mouth and said, "No." A stream of light immediately rose, causing the monster to panic. "What is this?" The Mandarin slowly approached Diana. "You don't mind me helping? Delaying too long will affect the next journey." Diana looked at him thoughtfully. The monster on this side laughed even harder. Tentacles sprouted from its wriggling back, saying, "Just with something like you, does it really want to lock me up?" Those tentacles reshaped into a gun barrel. "I will show you the power I have just acquired." The eyes on the monster's chest are now bright and bloodshot. It roared loudly, disintegrating into dust under our artillery fire. Then wave after wave of artillery shot out. The smoke and dust dispersed. But the superior wall was built perfectly and there was no problem at all. The monster saw that and was bewildered. "What? This can't be. How come he wasn't harmed at all?" At this time, Tinge Quan's whole body glowed and used the spell. The universe rotated and separated, and the demon was suppressed and the earth was mysteriously transformed. Pausing for a moment, he frowned intently and exclaimed, the center of the 8 trigram circle he had just built was glowing with fire. The monster still smiles arrogantly. "You're just wasting money in vain, because I'm immortal." Its whole body kept burning and then regenerating. The high official replied, "Is that so?" But suddenly he saw that his hands were slowly burning. He panicked. "What is this? Why did my reincarnation stop?" Its whole body kept burning. It panicked. "No, this can't be. Stop it, stop it." After a while of burning, the fire also went out, and there was nothing left inside the circle of 8 trigrams where the monster was standing. Looking at that scene, Diana thought to herself, another move. I really want to know what his full strength is like. Right now in the Fuangchao City government building, there is information about the recent battle on the computer screen. Suddenly there was a loud scream. It was because a man was being strangled by a boy wearing glasses. He said into the phone, "Killer, it was me, I succeeded." The man was strangled, his face grimaced and asked, "Who are you anyway?" The person on the other end of the phone said to the boy, "Clean up, I don't want to have to wipe your ass." He immediately replied, "I'm working, don't worry, please wait a moment." Because at that moment, a black tentacle appeared from his hands, making the other guy pale in fear. Those tentacles immediately stabbed into his mouth, causing the blonde man to cough. The reflection of the two people's shadows was extremely dark, but perhaps the person who was attacked earlier had his body controlled. He answered the phone. "He's been waiting for a long time. All the preparations just now have been done, so do it, don't let me down." The person who earlier probably thought he was dead, now even though there was still blood on his body, he was very healthy, unharmed, his eyes were bloodshot, and were covered by the black glasses of the boy who had just answered, "I'm sure it won't fail, I assure you." In the depths of the ocean, standing in front of the Dark Alliance's spiritual array, a group of people gathered around reading, the great ancient godfather of all things, the body of fear, his eternal servant, imploring your presence here, to show us the way to guide our souls. The people who were reading those words had their whole bodies covered, their eyes were red, looking extremely dark, after reading them, those words. In the middle of the formation, a red object flew up and then exploded in the air, then they gathered again. Appeared a face with 4 blurry eyes. The person who was reciting the mantra just now saw it and shouted loudly, "Great Holy Master, I finally get to see you again." Then he knelt down, raised his hand to his chest and said, "Please forgive our incompetence, we relied on the energy of your lost soul to find the eastern city, but the specific location still remained, still exploring." The shadowy monster in that membrane said, "I am in X, right below the Yangzhou Citadel." After saying that, the membrane that covered only the face immediately disintegrated and flowed to the ground. The leader of the subordinates was shocked. The connection had been severed, but that was enough. He put his hand to his ear to contact the person in the government office. "You heard that right, if you find X, you can't fail." The other person laughed cheerfully and replied, "Just leave it to me." After talking to the infiltrator in the government office, it turned around and told its subordinates that the Holy Master was about to reappear in the human world. The old rulers would once again rule this planet, again. At the Fuangchao City branch of the Earth Guardian Association, Diana was leading the official on a tour. She said, "Mr. Shangwen Van, welcome to the Earth Guardian Association." As she walked, she continued, "In fact, the history of the Earth Guardian Association is not considered long. In the beginning, we were at best vigilantes of the human world, scattered sporadically, without any organization, position, everything depends on enthusiasm, just facing strong enemies. That's why we gradually united together, because the contributions we made were recognized by international society, so we have the Earth Defense Association, the global defense structure now." She looked up and looked forward, her face serious and said, "But once an organization gets too big, cracks will appear internally. The Earth Guardian Association is no exception." She remembered the organizations and said, "Next." Gradually divided into 4 organizations, the Super God Association with Superpowers as the focus, the Magic Academy with Magical Energy as the focus, the Mechanical Theology with Mechanical Technology as the focus. In the island the 10,000 beasts take the secret art of witchcraft as their focus. All 3 people walking behind were listening attentively. She turned around and said, "With them now, they want to organize in turn to take charge of different areas in this European city, mainly by the Super God Association. I'm in charge." At this moment, in front of the manager was talking to his subordinates. "I really bothered you." Seeing everyone coming, he turned and said, "Miss Diana, you're home." But when she saw Tianj Quan, she suddenly raised her voice. "Wait, who are you?" Diana immediately raised her hand to introduce. "This is Mr. Tianj Quan Van. I brought him here for a tour. There should be no problem, right?" When the manager heard that, his face lit up with a bright smile. Of course there was no problem. It's better to say that I was looking for an opportunity to thank Mr. Superior for the last mermaid riot. Fortunately, he came out. The damage area was much less than expected. Tianj Quan Van received his thanks and replied calmly, "It's just a small matter." Suddenly the manager raised his hand and looked at the clock, startled. No, it was already this time. After saying that, he turned around and shouted loudly, "I'm really sorry, government employees are coming soon. I have to go entertain them. I can't talk to you anymore." Seeing him gone, Tianj Van said, "It seems like you guys are very busy." Diana immediately replied, "No matter what time it is, the number of staff is not enough, we are used to it." Then she used her card to insert it. The door immediately opened. She smiled and said, "Then I want to represent the Earth Guardian Association. Invite you to join us, with your strength. Yes, if you can get the S-Class Hero rating immediately, I can assure you, the compensation and benefits will definitely not disappoint you, and your freedom will not be restricted in any way. Just if you need help, it's okay if you're in danger." And the card in her hand is also an S-Class card. Even though she invited me so enthusiastically, the high official still replied calmly, forgiving me to refuse. When Diana heard the answer, she smiled wryly without any hesitation. Suddenly there was a voice in front that made everyone stop. "Ahead, please give way." Are two people carrying on a stretcher a hero who was seriously injured? His arm was severed. Tianj Quan Van asked curiously. "That is," Diana immediately answered, "the main reason for not having enough people is also because..." At this moment in the large hall of the Ministry of Health, the injured person was being brought inside. All around were people with serious injuries. Looking at those people, she explained that this was the current state of the Earth Defender Association below the surface. Their entire bodies were covered in wounds, some with broken hands. People's legs are broken. When the minister stepped forward, Diana immediately called out, "Mr." He walked up to a patient, gave them a blue pill and said, "Eat this, it can cure you." The person he gave it to immediately replied, "Huh." Then turned to look at where Diana bewilderedly called, "Ems, Diana." She immediately nodded firmly, receiving that nod. The young man immediately brought the pill to his mouth and swallowed it without hesitation. After swallowing, he still stared wide-eyed and shouted loudly, the area where the severed arm glowed, and then a new arm grew. That process was extremely painful. Looking at his healed hand, he was surprised. My wound had recovered, it was as healthy as before, I wasn't dreaming. But everyone around who witnessed it was also extremely surprised. "Hey, is this real or fake?" In the blink of an eye he recovered. Someone shouted loudly, asking if we had the pill just now, "Please help us." Another person saw that and immediately said, "I beg you, I don't want to be like this for the rest of my life." Everyone around was so noisy that Diana had to warn her. Everyone calmed down. The Mandarin sighed deeply. He took out a gourd and said, "There are medicinal herbs in here, go share them all. Everyone who sees this will thank him profusely. Really thank you." Diana told me, "Mr. Tianj Quan, these pills are very precious, right? It's okay." The official replied that it was fate, and this medicine was not that valuable, it was just a product that was easily prepared. Diana is speechless. How to conveniently refine. Then her face turned serious and she placed her hand on her chest. "Mr. Tianj Quan, I want to make a business deal with you, regarding the purchase of this medicinal pill." The official seemed interested. "Oh, tell me." She began to make very convincing words. "We will provide the money and materials needed to refine, while you need to provide a certain amount of medicinal pills to us, within a certain time. No, just like that, we will also give you the green light on some things. Try to provide more benefits for you. How do you feel?" The Mandarin sounded quite attractive, so he rubbed his chin and thought, this is also a good way to receive money. He immediately agreed, "Okay." Diana was excited when she heard that. "Really? That's great." And Han Kamba and the girl next to him glanced at each other with short faces. Diana continued, detailed terms and quantity, waiting for the tour to end. Before he could finish speaking, a voice echoed, making everyone turn to look. "What's so funny, Diana? So it's Superman?" she asked. "Shouldn't you be at headquarters?" The platinum superhero opened his eyes and said, "Is there a need to be so surprised? I heard that there was a big person visiting, so I came here on purpose. I guess it's this gentleman with an extraordinary temperament standing next to you, right?" When Diana heard him say that, she got worried. "Wait, this guy won't want it." He continued to talk, wondering if I have a chance to rub elbows with Mr. Superior. "You won't refuse this little request of mine, right?" He spoke quite loudly so everyone turned to look. Diana got angry when she heard that. "Hey Ken, I'm sure she's told you before." Hearing that, Ken's face was not very happy. I'm not the dog he raised, Diana. While Diana was listening, she didn't know how to respond. The superior officer next to her slowly responded enthusiastically. So it's not convenient for me to refuse, I agree to this fight. After hearing the answer he wanted, he immediately turned around, waved his hand and said frankly, then Mr. Senior Officer, we will meet on the training ground. Diana was worried, Mr. Tinge Quan, this competition. Before she could finish, he answered, it's okay, I know where to stop. At this time, at the actual combat training ground of the Fuing Chao City branch, Ken and Tinge Quan were standing in the center, facing each other. Ken said, were they ready, Mr. Tinge Quan? The official's aura was unusual, standing there proudly, ready at any moment, eyes shining brightly. Very good, hope you won't disappoint me. Then like lightning, after a jump, Ken stood behind the official. He used his platinum divine fist and thought to himself, I can't even see my shadow clearly, so don't blame me. But when the punch came close to the official's position, the official only needed to gently reach out and block the fist. Made Ken stop. Ken frowned, startled. What? The minister looked at him. You don't need to probe, just attack with all your might. Ken gritted his teeth in anger. This kid dared to look down on him. He immediately took a step back and said yes, then I'm sorry. Then immediately advanced strongly towards the place of the high-ranking Mandarin. Gently raised his hand to block the blow. One blow and then another bright blow came, causing holes in the training ground. More and more people came to watch the fun. The girl next to Han held the newspaper and said, it's too strong, I can't follow their movements at all. The people in the stands were also surprised. They didn't expect to be able to fight on equal terms with the platinum superhero. The people next to them were smiling. Surely the platinum superhero had given in. After all, he was an S-class. Yes, that's right. Only Diana is the clearest. The truth is the opposite. The field is no longer healthy anymore. Ken is probably about to go crazy now. Ken frowned and looked at Tinge Quan. Mr. Tinge Quan, the defense cannot be called a struggle, still refusing to use real strength. Tinge Quan still raised one hand to avoid Ken's blow and said, okay. In my opinion, after saying that, I lifted my hand and was able to fight back the platinum superhero. When I saw that the superior officer had fought back, on the contrary, he was filled with enthusiasm. Very good, let me see your true strength. Diana in the stands was also startled. This power was too strong. The official used 5 nails to open the mountain, then an extremely large golden hand appeared and struck. Ken didn't hesitate to condense a circle on his hand. His eyes were bright. He came at the right time. The superior Mandarin's golden hand was now close to Ken's position. That blow caused the training ground to crack extremely seriously. Ken also panicked and shouted loudly. He felt that this power was too terrible. 5 minutes ago in Fuing Chao City branch, the guy wearing glasses was controlled and said to the person next to him, the Dark Alliance has recently been attacking the eastern city very heavily. Can your staff on this side still be able to resist? And he is the federal government's special threat advisor. The manager next to him immediately replied, it's fine, the main combat power hasn't lost much, and Miss Diana also came here from headquarters to provide timely support. Lam Quan replied, that's okay, the situation is how is the damage in Fuing Chao City? The owner frowned. The architecture was destroyed in a large area, the injured population exceeded hundreds of people, it was considered a very big incident. But remembering the image of the high official, he continued, but it was also considered lucky. If that person hadn't appeared, the casualties would definitely not have been just like that. But he didn't say those words, but just think in my heart. Lam Quang sighed. He didn't know when this would end. That's right, Fuing Chao City's central information warehouse wasn't attacked, right? The administrator smiled lightly. You can rest assured about this. The Central Information Warehouse has used the most advanced defense system of the mechanical religion. The outer layers of protection cannot be broken even by atomic bombs. Only people with authority and control can enter. Lam Quang's bright eyes flashed a sinister smile. Hearing him say that made me feel very reassured. Counselor Lin, please come this way. The briefing hall is ahead. Speaking of which, it should be working hours now, but I don't see anyone around. No surveillance? Something happened. It seems Platinum Superman is having a match with someone, and many people have gone to watch. As for his opponent, there's only one person that comes to mind. Hopefully, nothing untoward happens. I see. Well then, I won't hold back. What's going on? Damn it. Platinum Superman? What are you? I just exerted too much force. No need to make a big fuss about it. Exerted. Too much force, wait. Medical department. Send someone quickly to the briefing hall. Someone is injured. Hurry. Should we continue? Unfortunately. There was just an accident. This is as far as we can go this time. I hope we can have a fulfilling time next time, Shangguan. If possible, I actually hope there won't be a next time. Hee, I will come again. Shangguan, you really don't hold back. He will definitely hold a grudge against you. I did show some restraint. This is not just about holding back. You will understand in the future, that guy's personality is quite troublesome, understood. I originally planned to take you to other places, but now I have to go and see the extent of the damage. You guys can take Shangguan on the tour from here. Understood. By the way, the qualification assessment is in 2 weeks. Han Qinbao, I remember you're participating, right? How did you know? It concerns the infusion of fresh blood. Would it be strange for me to pay attention? That's not what I meant. I just didn't expect to be noticed by an S-class hero. It's just. Prepare well. I have high hopes for you. Yes. Master, this is the Earth Defenders data repository. Why would you want to come here? There's nothing here except books and files. This place can help me quickly understand this world. I just need a small spell. Open. This. Let's go. I have already grasped all the information here. Huh? Master. That move. Please teach it to me. Hold on, what's going on? And first, get up. No. Please promise me first. Otherwise, I won't get up. Shangguan, please accept me as your disciple, I beg you. You have a determined look, you haven't given up, have you? Training is very tough, you know. Is that so? I will absolutely not give up halfway. Please believe in me. Is that so? Did I fail? Come on, why are you still standing there? Huh? Won't you help me introduce other places? Yes. Master. 1 week later, inside the small world. Damn it. It's the manifestation step again. The steps are clearly correct, why do I keep failing? Next week is the qualification assessment. Don't be too anxious, we still have time. If I had already succeeded in mastering it, of course I wouldn't be anxious. Go rest for now. Master I. Your mind is in turmoil. If you continue practicing like this, it will only backfire. Yes, Master, tell me about him. He wasn't always like this. Qin Bao's parents were A-class heroes of the Earth Defenders. They were active in various places and were always his aspiration. That was also the starting point for his decision to become a hero. But fate played a cruel trick on him. 3 years ago, he was one of the first students to advance to the class. At that time, everyone believed that his future was limitless. However, on the day of the promotion exam, a demon suddenly appeared in the trial grounds. While other students were evacuating, he got trapped inside due to his deep exploration. Fortunately, his parents arrived in time and saved him despite their injuries. Unfortunately, everyone underestimated the power of that demon. By the time reinforcements arrived, it was too late. Han Qinbao's parents had perished along with the demon. He was left alone. On that day, he lost his parents and the enemy he could seek revenge upon. Since then, becoming stronger seemed to be his only wish. However, his progress in strength has been stagnant. No matter how hard he tries, he can never pass the assessment and can only watch as others surpass him. This assessment is his last chance, so, I see, have you calmed down now? Master, perhaps. This is where it ends for me. Great talents mature late, as the saying goes. The Nine Suns' profound technique is actually not an offensive spell. Its true essence lies in the manipulation of qi. Body and spirit unite, spirit and qi harmonize, outward projectile and inward restraint, a myriad of transformations. Everyone has their own strengths, and I believe you do too. What I excel at, transforming one's body into a weapon. Abandoning the ability for outward projection, focusing on inward restraint, and converging power within oneself. If that's the case. This is it. Master. I did it. Let's go, the rest time is over. Yes. B rank qualification assessment, preparation room. C rank, Han Qinbao, please proceed to exam room 2. Looks like it's my turn. There shouldn't be any problem, after all, you've already mastered that power. B rank qualification assessment, exam room 2. This time, I will definitely pass. Oh. Long time no see, Leopard. You didn't expect me to be your examiner, huh? Haha. Superhero Association A rank hero, Ralph, ability, fire. Let's make it clear in advance, even though we were childhood friends, I won't go easy on you because of our relationship. With your current strength, if you continue your hero career, you'll eventually die in some unknown corner. If that's the case, let me put an end to your hero career right here. Well, you'll be disappointed because today I'm determined to win. We'll talk about your big talk once you actually win. Flame fist! It seems like you don't have the skills to back up your big talk. Did you manage to dodge it? That's great. Is this something your rumored master taught you? It seems like you've made some progress. What he taught me goes far beyond this. Steel step dash. Take this. What? Ralph? How are you now? What just happened? An A rank hero was actually knocked away by a C rank? Very well. This makes it more interesting. Second round. Begin. You'll stay right here. Leave the stage. Dazzling blossoms! Running around like a stray dog. Is this your path as a hero? It's truly laughable. If you don't have the strength, you should just exit gracefully. Don't embarrass yourself like trash, making a fool of yourself everywhere. Ugh. Nana! This move. Let's see how you break through. Volcanic wings. Can't dodge it, huh? In that case, power condensed on the surface becomes formidable armor, hidden within fists becomes a penetrating spear. The exchange of offense and defense, ready to strike at any moment. Success or failure. It all comes down to this. Assessment complete. C rank, Han Chin Bao, pass. Assessment rating, S, I succeeded. Assessment complete. C rank, Han Quine Bao passes. Assessment rating, S, hero rating, A rank, battle sequence 122. A rank? You defeated me, so it's normal for you to be promoted to a rank. Congratulations, Leopard. Just as I suspected. I knew there had to be a reason for your sudden harshness. I had to push you a bit, I put a lot of thought into it. Are you sure it wasn't just for your own satisfaction? Ahaha. Maybe just a little bit. You. Let's not talk about that. What was that move you just used? Did your master teach you that? Of course. But my exceptional talent also played a part. You arrogant brat. But your master seems to have some skills. Maybe one day you can introduce me to the M.IT. Depends on my mood. That would be great. Next, C rank, Ling Xiaohan, please proceed to examination room 1. Is it my turn next? Fangzhou City Hospital. Huh? Consultant Lin, you're awake. How long was I unconscious for? 4 hours. Do you want me to contact Supervisor Luo Lian for you? I do need your help, but it's not to contact Luo Lian. Do you happen to know God's number? Ling family manner. To celebrate Xiaohan passing the B rank assessment, everyone. Tonight. Let's drink to our heart's content. Leopard. You can't escape today. We won't go home until we're drunk. Come on. I'm not afraid of you! Hey, isn't that Diana over there? Surprising to see an S-rank hero here too. Indeed, I heard that the mysterious person who quelled the merfolk turmoil is also connected to the Ling family. This gathering feels similar to the night parade of 100 demons in our hometown. Of course, after all, no matter how times change, their essence remains the same. Aren't you going down to celebrate with them? I'll pass. I've long passed the age for noise and commotion. Tsk, why are you acting like an old man? Well, you're not exactly young either. Nonsense. I'm in my prime, you know. Master, so you're here after all. I couldn't find you in the hall just now, and I was afraid that you had already left. It's really great that you haven't left. Were we too noisy and bothersome for you? Master, I'm truly grateful to have you as my master. Without your guidance, Leopard and I wouldn't have passed the assessment so smoothly. So, I really appreciate you. Xiaohan, you have strong talent, and the entire Ling family supports you. Why did you want to take me, a stranger, as your master? Well, it's to prove myself, isn't it? The Ling family was one of the original members of Earth's Guardians, and the key to the Ling family's strength lies in the emergence of talented individuals. However, precisely because of this, the internal competition for resources is much stronger than outside. Despite the grand feast the family arranged for me this time, not many people actually care about me. They are more concerned about my older brothers, who are more outstanding and the future pillars of the Ling family. But I don't want to be in the shadow of my brothers. I want to prove to the family that I am not inferior to them. When I saw the techniques of my master that day, I realized that it was my chance for change. I cannot give up. One day, I will ascend to the immortal realm. I will make those people who once looked down on me unable to dismiss me anymore. The path of cultivation is difficult and long, but someday, everyone will acknowledge you. You must not slack off. Yes. Earth Defense Division, Supervisory Office, Fangzhou City. Sorry to disturb you, these are today's reports. Just put them on the table. By the way, Supervisor, why didn't you attend the Ling family's banquet tonight? There's no way. With recent incidents occurring frequently, I need to make the evaluation report a priority and finish it on time. I see. It must be tough and you too, working overtime must be tough. If you don't have anything else, you should leave early and rest. It's not tough. I purposely stayed. Hee hee, you catch on quickly. Who are you? Hee hee hee, go ask God. Cough, cough. How could a mere desk job be so powerful? I really underestimated it. Did I faint? I've got you now. What? Hee hee, I succeeded. It's really easy, huh? Now. The doors of the Central Information Database have finally opened to me. Earth Defense Fangzhou City Division Central Information Database. I found the location of the Holy Lord. Once I find the map there, I'll start planning. You won't get away with this! Uck. Damn it. This guy is trying to take over my body. The data hasn't. Get out. My body! Damn it. I have to retreat for now. Cough, cough, cough. Ling family manor. Alarm. Alarm. The base has been invaded. All combat personnel, please return for immediate reinforcement. Earth Defense Super God Association, S-Class Hero Genius Lex Rousseau. What's the current situation? It's very bad. The central database has been breached, and intelligence from Base X has been compromised. The enemy's intentions are clear, and a large-scale invasion is likely to occur soon. But we alone are not enough. To counter future attacks from the Dark Alliance, we need the full strength of the Earth Defense. First, we need to contact headquarters as soon as possible to secure more support. Second, we need to raise the alert level to the highest and arrange for personnel to patrol around the clock. Understood. Inside the small world. What's wrong? Signs of a turbulent change in the wind. Looks like I need to refine more elixirs. Is there a major battle about to happen? I haven't been in a fight for hundreds of years. It's a good opportunity to stretch my muscles and bones. Don't even think about it. TFFT, you stingy person. The next day, in Zone C of Fangzhou City. Do you think the enemy will really attack this quickly? Who knows? All we can do is be prepared for the worst. Those bastards from the Dark Alliance better not cross paths with me. Otherwise, as an A-class hero, I'll make sure they don't leave unscathed. Yeah. Just calm down for a bit. Earth Defense Fangzhou City Division Command Center. Commander. Sector C, Block 3 is under attack. Currently, 2 licensed heroes are en route. Keep monitoring and quickly determine the enemy's identity. Yes, sir. How far are they from the target? According to the coordinates sent by headquarters, after passing the intersect tie-in up ahead. Earth Defense, huh? You came pretty quickly. Well then, I should retreat for now. Don't even think about it! Something's not right. Be careful! What? Are you okay? I'm fine, thanks for your help. This guy is not easy to deal with. Warning. Sector A, Block 4 under attack. Explosion reported in Sector D, Block 1. Sector C, Block 1 under attack. Commander. The enemy's identity has been confirmed. It's the Blood Shadow Assassins, under the command of S-Class Demon. Send people immediately to evacuate the civilians. Contact Diana and have B-Class and above personnel mobilized for disaster relief. Yes, sir. The Blood Shadow Assassins cannot operate without their leader, Demon. Where could you be? City of Fangzhou, Central Skyscraper. Blood Shadow 1306, life activity terminated. Blood Shadow 0771, life activity terminated. Blood Shadow. Roar. The response of the Earth's defenders is quite fast. We had just begun our arrangement, and they took action. Dark Alliance, leader of the Blood Shadow is Sincor, S-Class Demon. How much longer until the formation is ready? Just a little bit more, just in time for my Blood Shadow Assassin Corps to have some fun with them. That guy seems a bit suspicious. Hey. You must be joking. Commander. There's a large number of abnormal life reactions appearing in the affected areas. They're rapidly spreading to the surroundings. It's vampire technique. They need to be careful of the bloodline. Reinforcements will arrive soon. Understood. Launching simultaneous attacks on so many regions, are they trying to disperse our forces? Or perhaps are you trying to conceal something? How is the situation? Everything is going smoothly. The heroes have been led away, and the magic circle has been set up. What's next? We can now begin our true plan. Ha ha ha. It's starting. Oh, my divine lord. We offer our humble bloodline as a sacrifice to you. Let the world hear your teachings. Summon back these lost lambs. Turn this polluted old world into a sea of fire. Let the new world amidst be reborn destruction. Hey. Can you feel it? There's energy stirring. And there's something unsettling responding to this energy. Let's go out and take a look. Hee. Just waiting for you to say that. Meanwhile, Commander. Multiple energy convergence points have been detected. The energy levels have exceeded the critical threshold and are still rising. Could they be attempting a forced resonance? X-base. Warning. Warning. Abnormal energy readings. Abnormal energy readings. Individual X organism activity is increasing. Increase the power of Suppressor 3 by another 20%. Suppressor 5 has overloaded. Switch to Suppressor 12. Understood. Doctor, we have a problem. Suppressors 7 and 9 have exploded. What? Suppressor 3 is overloaded. The temperature has reached the critical threshold. Emergency cooling. Use the backup suppressors. Doctor. The biological activity of X has reached 51%. It's about to awaken. It seems the situation is worse than I thought. Doctor, organize a team immediately for repairs. Doctor, organize a team immediately for repairs. Before that, I'll take responsibility for suppressing its revival. What are you planning to do? Are you out of your mind? Even if you're the strongest psychic ability user, this is too reckless. You will die. As long as I can delay its awakening. Compared to the entire world, my own life is insignificant. Maintenance personnel, start the repairs immediately. Move quickly. Yes. Oh no. X's activity is still increasing. It has reached 62% now. Damn it. Stop it. Thank you for your assistance, Shangwen. May I ask how you found this place? The energy fluctuations here were the strongest, so I followed them. Is there anything else? No, nothing. You've been a great help. Apart from that, Shangwen, I would like to ask for another favor. Meanwhile, in District C of Fangzhou City. This can't go on like this. We need to take down the person controlling the corpses. Ha! I'll create an opportunity for you. The rest is up to you. Now is the time. Next, we have to destroy that formation. They're really audacious, aren't they? Let's go. Solve it quickly. Formation in District C of Fangzhou City. Are you kidding me? Is this formation a military factory? Do you want to use that move? That's right. Our strength is limited, so we shouldn't waste it on small fries. Understood. Let's begin then. Thunder Dragon Technique. We did it. It's a success. That last strike felt as powerful as when Master defeated Kimura. Very well, now it's time for you to pay the price. This oppressive pressure, as viscous as blood, he's on a completely different level from the previous ninjas. Now I'm going to make you pay. What is this thing? Get away from me. What the? Damn it. This isn't good. I have to break free first. Well, hello there. How disappointing. So weak and powerless. It seems your master isn't all that strong either. Who are you to talk about my master? Ha 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 ha, don't be so quick to retort. Once I use you to lure him here, I'll show you. Despicable. If you have the guts, just kill us. Oh no, no, no. Killing you like this would be letting you off too easy. I'm going to make you watch as your master begs me for his life like a dog. You cowardly bastard. You'll die a horrible death. Go ahead and curse me all you want, while you still have a voice. But rest assured. Soon, your master will be here to join you. Ha 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 ha. An incarnation to receive the deity of the Holy Lord? That's right, but before that, we have a little game to play. Just don't kill them, or the incarnation will be useless for the deity of the Holy Lord. Don't worry, I know my limits. Inside Base X. How is it? Doctor. All readings have returned to normal and there shouldn't be any problems for now. That's good. Rousseau, I just sensed a strong energy reaction from Base X. What happened? The magic circle above Fangzhou City caused to show signs of awakening. However, with Shangwen Yun's assistance, it has been resealed. So, we owe Shangwen Yun another favor. Now that the magic circle in Zone C has been destroyed, we need to speed up the destruction of the other 3 magic circles. Roger that. Leave it to us. Ha ha ha. I'd love to see the look on your master's face. It must be priceless. Then you're going to be disappointed. Who's there? The one you're looking for. You are the one they are looking for. Master Father. So that's it, you are their master. In that case, you are the one who killed Kimura. I'm not interested in knowing about the defeated. On the contrary, it's you. Hee, want to make a move? This guy, what a strong pressure. You can do it. It's just that someone is going to die. Looks like I have to find another body. TSK, Blood Angel of Death. Equip. Hey, you're very confident. You'll soon regret not stopping me from equipping. Die. Blood Armament? Interesting. But too slow. Arrogant. Blood Light Slash. Hey. Overconfident. It seems you are very self-aware. No wonder Kimura died at his hands. So be it. Great Lord. Please listen to our humble. With our flesh and blood, we connect with the power of the Lord and destroy our enemies. This kind of energy fluctuation, is it a divine descent? It's a bit stronger than before. Well, I'll play with you. Feel honored. You will die under the divine power of the Lord. Is that all? What the hell is going on? My attack is ineffective? You forced me to do this. Let this entire block be buried with you. What is this? Soul Eater Blood Prison. Haha. Just be wait to crushed by the magnificent power of my master. You insignificant trash. Now. No one can stop the revival of my master anymore. That is the great power bestowed upon me by my master. How could a lowly piece of trash like you possibly shatter it? Is that all you've got? You truly are pitiful. This farce should come to an end. Over there. Is that person? They're really exaggerated. What a joke. That person is the real monster. We need to leave this place immediately. Otherwise. Huh? Trying to run away. Disperse. Freeze. Annihilate. Cough. How is it possible? Enemy responses have disappeared completely. The formation has been confirmed destroyed. Energy levels are returning to normal. Crisis averted. Did we win? We won. This time it's all thanks to him. After the battle in Fangzhou City. Due to numerous witnesses, the previous news blockade has completely lost its effect. The deeds of Shangguan Yun began to be widely by the media. Shangguan Yun has become a blazing new star, gaining a large number of followers in a very short time. However, the person involved remains oblivious, and everything is as it was. You have glimpsed the path, and it's time for me to teach you the art of alchemy. It is still too early for you to cultivate inner elixirs, so today I will teach you the art of outer elixirs. Oh. For the cultivation of outer elixirs, you will refine the lead extracted from true lead and white gold into a golden elixir. The fire should be strong enough to fully refine the medicinal ingredients, thereby generating the true energy of the utmost yang. Both the internal and external medicines originate from the primordial ancestral qi. Without understanding the proper sequence, one cannot achieve the elixir. For those who understand the timing of medicinal growth, they will proceed with collection, cooking, sealing, igniting the yang fire, dispelling the yin symbols, and completing the circulation of qi. There are various stages, such as refining the essence and nourishing the surplus. The success of collection relies on the mechanism of ascent and descent, which enables the gathering of true energy. Otherwise, true energy cannot be obtained. External medicines are born first and then collected, while internal medicines are collected first and then born. This is the essence of it. Master. What exactly did you just say? Sigh. Since that's the case, I'll share my notes from back then with you. Really? That's great. Master, do you have a lot of notes? I'm not very good at reading, not many, just around 100,000 volumes. Huh? 100,000? That's so many. If I were to read them all, I'd probably be in my grave. It would be great if someone could learn on my behalf, maybe it's actually possible. Huh? Is it true or not? It's I, after all. You're just realizing that, huh, genius. You're truly a genius. What you're referring to is I. What is it? Well, it's actually a technology tool that simulates human intelligence and logical behavior. By inputting specific data into a database, I can process it according to the given requirements. Not only that, but I can also control various devices through the internet, completely freeing up human labor. I heard that the third-generation version being developed by the mechanical god sect is capable of making robots move as agilely as humans. It's quite similar to the alchemy and spiritual cultivation in mystical arts. Let me borrow this for a moment. You can practice on your own for now. Huh? You guys don't need to worry about that guy. Whenever he comes up with ideas, he goes into seclusion. Just get used to it. Focus on your inner contemplation. An intelligent program that carries out tasks under instructions, although it lacks a physical form, can roam in virtual networks. Alchemy and spiritual cultivation in mystical arts involve infusing life and spiritual awakening into objects through refining immortal tools, making them no different from living beings. If I were to combine these two forms of mental cores, Dark Mountain Range. You must be the Dark King, Lord of the Dark Alliance. I have come under the orders of the leader of the Dark Alliance, humbly requesting your presence. I'm not interested in your affairs. Although I once defected from the Earth Guardians, it doesn't mean I joined your Dark Alliance. Besides, you haven't settled the matter of kidnapping my disciple. Go back. I just want a peaceful life. Dark King, your disciple was killed. Don't you want revenge? Say that again? You also don't want. Hee, I understand your anger, but even if you kill me, it won't change anything. Who did it? Your former employer, the Earth Guardians.